Dennis have in common? A ton! Our values of fairness and goodwill, the importance of family. We both have our religious upbringing, New Jersey childhoods, our dads dying when we were kids, our close relationship with our moms, similar career choices. This is only a partial list. Richard, what are your differences with Dennis? I'm a bit more laid back than he is.
There's some truth.
Richard, what are the most significant contributions Dennis has brought into your life? Dennis has brought such joy and peace. I'm happier than I've ever been. We are so completely embraced by each other's families. My relationship with Dennis's mom, Seal, is such a lovely gift. I am now called her Sonny Boy. I was extremely close to my mom and my grandma. I've really missed their closeness since their deaths 20 and 15 years ago, respectively. My feelings about Dennis were really cemented when I saw his relationship with Mom, whom I've come to love so dearly.
Oh my God.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, we could stop at any point in this. But we won't.
More.
All right. Dennis, do you take Richard to be your true lawfully wedded husband? You promise to be true to him in good times and bad, in sickness and health, to love and honor him all the days of your life. If so, please answer.
I do.
Richard, do you take Dennis to be your lawfully wedded husband? You promise to be true to him in good times and bad, in sickness and in health, to love and honor him all the days of your life. If so, please answer. I do.
I do.
May I have your rings, please? This represents the most difficult shopping quest the two of them have had in shared experience. Each ring is a solid yellow gold band, unique and joined. Each ring has white gold ties and is inscribed on the inside with the words Ashert. We bless these rings which you're about to give to each other as a perpetual sign of your never-ending love and loyalty. As they are round and without end, so may your love be beyond limit. As they represent the finest of the earth's metals, so may your union bring out the best of your goodness, values, and character. Okay, each take your ring to present to the other. Dennis first. Hare, Atah, Mikudash, Lee. With this ring, I, Dennis, marry you, Richard.
Marry you, Richard.
As my one and only true love.
As my one and only true love.
I marry you with complete commitment. I marry you with trust,
I marry you with trust,
faithfulness,
faithfulness,
and confidence.
and confidence.
We'll grow on.
Sorry.
Hare,
Hooray.
Atah,
Atah.
Mikudash,
Mikudash.
Lee.
Lee.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I, Richard,
I, Richard,
marry you, Dennis,
marry you, Dennis,
as my one and only true love.
as my one and only true love.
I marry you with complete commitment.
I marry you with complete commitment.
I marry you with trust,
I marry you with trust,
faithfulness,
faithfulness,
and confidence. Both together. Ani,
Ani.
Lidodi,
Lidodi.
Vidodi,
Vidodi.
Lee.
Lee.
I am yours, my beloved,
I am yours, my beloved.
and you are mine.
And you are mine. We're sending them out on memo and on cue. Thank you. We are now going to call upon the Magnificent Seven to please come forward. Richard's brother Alan, Dennis's sister Andy, Richard's sister Betsy, Dennis's sister Gail, Richard's childhood friend Nadine, Dennis's childhood friend Beth, and last, of course, it's going to be Sue. Okay, so just stand here, please. Yeah. Okay. I will go first. Privilege. When the eternal fashioned the universe, he created more than biology. He created the kind of relationship known as ahava, the type of love that stands the test of time and allows two people to share all the joy creation has to offer. And let us say, Amen. An ancient legend claims that each soul, prior to entering this world, consisted of two parts, united in one being. Upon descending to earth, the two parts separate, two different bodies. But at the time of marriage, the Eternal unites them again as one to form one body, one soul. And this has been done before us. And to this end may it continue, and let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Every human being contains a spark of divine light. That light shines when we learn to love and share. Only then are we truly human. And let us say, Amen. When loving partners rejoice, the human family rejoices. When partners in marriage sense the unity in their lives, all humanity celebrates the unity of heaven and earth. And let humanity learn the true nature of genuine love from your example. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
In every marriage there are three partners and the eternal one. Only when the eternal presence is recognized can true joy in marriage be realized. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
We rejoice as Richard and Dennis unite. May they be granted many years of health, joy, and fulfillment as they share life together. And let us all say,
Amen.
the fruit of the vine gladdens the heart. In our gladness we see beyond the sadness which sadly stains our world. We never abandon hope for a better time. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. This Kiddush cup goes back.
To my bar mitzvah. Few short years ago.
And like you, it's amazingly well preserved.
Cool.
And now you can say a few choice words now. You want some more?
Well, I do have a few choice words. Everybody, it's great to see you all. It's so amazing.
We could do that.
Yes. I can't imagine anything feeling more natural than standing here with you today in front of our family and friends, declaring our love and commitment to each other. But truly, it's felt this natural since the first evening that we met. And all the things I saw in you that evening have only become more real and apparent over time. You're a wonderful storyteller, and at the same time, you have such a warm and caring way of drawing people out. You're smart, you're creative, and there's no sweeter, more devoted son, no better friend. And if you have an emergency, there's no one better to have in your corner than my Dennis. Dennis, you and I have had a lot of wonderful shared experiences together over these 7 years. We've traveled, we bought a home together, we got our wills and living trusts in place, and for the attorneys in the house, thank you. And oh yeah, we organized all this. Wow.
Yay.
Great job. This all required us making a lot of decisions together. And while I adore Dennis, we don't always have the same tastes, and we don't always agree. But we've gotten really good at making decisions together. And ultimately, that's been less about compromise and I think really more about patience. And what we always say is that, instead of focusing on the details, we want to focus on how it feels. How does it feel when we're making these decisions about the place or the ring or the house we want to live in? And what we found is with a little bit of time, we always seem to find the decision that really feels right to both of us. Dennis, you and I waited a long time to find each other, but we're both great believers in things happening for a reason. And I know this is our time. And really and truly, neither of us takes it for granted for a minute. And just looking around at this very special place where we're getting married, and all you very dear and beautiful people who are here with us, who we adore so much. We've said this many times, but really, we feel like the luckiest guys in the world. And I love you, Dennis, and I look forward to so many wonderful years together.
Yeah.
Richard, here, as in a daydream, by my side you stand, here with my tomorrows in your hand. Those are the lyrics to our theme song. It was written in the stars, the song that was playing as we walked down here. Because the song It Was Written in the Stars talks about that all of this was preordained. So here beside me you stand. And our love of music reminded me of when I first really knew that you were the one and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. It was because of a song. You told me a story about when you were a very little boy and you were coming home from school one day, swinging your arms and singing at the top of your lungs when the red robin comes bobbing along. And
One of my greatest hits.
but what Richard didn't know at that time was that his wonderful mother Pearl was driving alongside very slowly, laughing at her little boy with all of this joy. And when I heard that story, I thought, who wouldn't want to be in love with somebody who was filled with that kind of joy? And there is a lyric that's part of that song. Live, love, laugh, and be happy. And that's exactly what I wish for you and for me. And I love you with all my heart. You are my happily ever after.
And now we will hear from the A-listers. Alan?
Yes. Here,
Yes, right there's a wonderful place.
Richard, Dennis.
Yeah.
It's taken 50 years and 3,000 miles for this day. But today, as the Moody Blues said, you stand on the threshold of a dream.
Right.
I want to read a sonnet by William Shakespeare. I would not admit that anything could interfere with the union of two people who love each other. Love that alters with changing circumstances is not love, nor if it bends from its firm state when someone tries to destroy it. Oh no, it's an eternally fixed point that watches storms but is never itself shaken by them. It is a star by which every lost ship can be guided. One can calculate its distance, but not gauge its quality. Love doesn't depend on time, although the rosy lips and cheeks of youth eventually come within the compass of time's sickle. Love doesn't alter as the days and weeks go by, but endures until death. If I'm wrong about this, then I've never written anything, and no man has ever loved.
Andy. Give up the center.
My dear brothers, today, tradition wraps you in the talus of our heritage. The strength of this piece of cloth is in the threads of which the whole is woven. The tapestry of each of your lives has in it threads of many colors, from bright gold to somber black, with its colors echoing the events of many lives. This tapestry was begun many years ago. The first strands slid through the fingers of your ancestors. Their thread was strong. Their colors were brilliant. The pattern grew, the length increased. The stories of those who came before you, their deeds, their lives, were woven into a cloth of beauty and lasting strength. Now you, Dennis and Richard, two separate lives, each rich with his own stories and dreams, now woven together by life, creating the fabric of a new life, a life lived as one.
Betsy. Have you all met my
Well, it's
assistant
really hard to
clergy?
live up to these, I have to tell you. And some of what I've wanted to say has already been said, but that just means that the sentiment is even more true because everybody agrees with me. My brother Rich is a very loved person, which is evident by all the people who've come here today to celebrate this joyous occasion with him today. Richard never appeared to be lonely. He's outgoing, gregarious, very gregarious, and always kept busy with friends and family. But there was something missing. Richard wanted to share his life with someone special. Having been married for over 30 years myself, I understand what it means to have a partner in life. Your best friend that you can share everything with, good and bad. I don't want to go into more details because my children will tell me that I embarrass them.
What's the mother for?
Would you tell them that, please?
Yes.
They're here.
Trust me, it won't last.
Richard has truly found that someone in Dennis. I remember when Richard first called and told me he met someone new. He was very exuberant. Now, I'm not going Okay, should I be really honest? Yeah. He was as giddy as a schoolgirl. He went on to explain how amazing it was that they'd never met before now, and you guys all know this because it's been said. So I'm going to skip that part. And just go on to say that it was a very long conversation, all the coincidences. But he was extremely surprised that their paths had not crossed before then. It was an immediate and very strong connection. Richard bonded quickly with Dennis's family also. I've heard that from Dennis's family all And I'm sure a lot of you know this story, but when Richard had gone to High Holy Days one time at Seal's Temple, somebody said, "Oh, this is your son?" And she had to correct them and say, "No, that's how close he was right away with Seal." Now when they're together, Richard tells a story, and I've heard him use the same intonation in his voice that I've heard Dennis use so many times. It seems like they've been together forever. Dennis, you make my brother so happy. Richard, Dennis, I know everyone here joins me in wishing you a long and happy life.
Somebody wants to find a coincidence as God's anonymous miracle. Gail. And Gail lives in the place of my birth. New York City's most underrated borough, Staten Island.
They never know where I'm from when I open my mouth.
No, they don't know if it's a borough or a donkey.
I'm going to talk about siblings.
Okay.
Dennis and I are not siblings by birth. His mother Seal married my father Milton when Dennis was 12 and I was 20. It is a true tribute to our parents that 27 years after my father died, we are still considered one family. Dennis and I kept in touch through the years through the usual route, visits, emails, etc. But my last visit to Dennis in San Francisco was the best because I got to know Richard. We spent several days together and I could see how much love there was between them. I'm so glad that they have reached this point of commitment in their lives, and I'm so happy for you guys. I'm sure their marriage is the start of a wonderful, loving life together. Dennis calls me Sister Gail, or SG, and I call him BD, Brother Dennis. Now I'm proud to add Brother Richard. Welcome to the family. Best of love and love.
Nadine.
Excited. Well, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I am very grateful to celebrate with you. As everyone may know, Richard and I have been friends since we were toddlers and could walk in Bayonne. Our families were very close, and I was always Richard's beard at many special events.
The age of 8 on.
I sat next to him at his bar mitzvah. We did our high school down the shore, and we discovered Martha's Vineyard. We've had many adventures. Needless to say, we also went through New York with Washington Square and John, and here we are today after our decades of California adventures. When, as Betsy said, the phone call came and Richard said, I met someone really special. Well, I was all ears and waiting for the details, which we got in full regalia, giddy as a schoolgirl. And then, within weeks, I was out in California and the time came to meet Dennis. I was very excited as we were at the Ritz in Half Moon Bay and the boys drove up in their fancy convertible, and out of it lit the boys in Cap's True Gatsby style, and I knew that Fred and Ginger had nothing and so that was the beginning, and in my heart I knew that Dennis was meant to be, and he was such a keeper, and you had so many interests together, the Jewish Jersey boys, and your histories were like parallel lives, and I was just thrilled to be part of it. Then, by the next time I saw you at the holiday parties, they were actually finishing each other's sentences in the same intonation. It was really very, very exciting for us. Next came a holiday in Cabo, and my whole family came with Richard and Dennis, and this was a huge undertaking, and we were very excited. And by that point, you were laughing alike and dressing alike, at times you even talked alike. It was competitive. And as Harvey said, and the theme for today has been that it started as friends of the family, has quickly evolved into a family of friends. And we feel very special to be part of that. Needless to say, all the profound coincidence between us, Harvey and Dennis being birthday twins and going to meet you in West Virginia, who would have known? And Morgan and Dennis have so much in common, and there's so many different things to talk about, but we won't go into them here. Don't worry, I see the eyes. Anyway, then came the time when you decided to move in together, and I was just thrilled, and we were so excited. We came out to the mini man's in Oakland, and I knew the Spavindas had arrived, and the rest was history. And so I will close with a quote from our wedding, Harvey and I, in the Baal Shem Tov, who's, as you know, a spiritual leader, and he said, and this is my guiding blessing as well, from every human being there rises a light that reaches straight to heaven. And when two souls that are destined to be together find each other, the streams of light flow together, and a single brighter light goes forth from that united being. Mazel tov!
We need some enthusiasm in this circle. Beth.
So, first of all, it's just such an honor to have been asked to be a part of your Sheva Brachot, the people who are blessing you. And I kind of covered all those things in here in an explanation that would help my blessing be meaningful to all of you. And I'm tempted right now to just tear this up. I heard that. I don't know who said it, but I heard it.
Security cameras will be available
Yes.
after the sermon.
I'm gonna try to skip the parts that have been said already, but it's very important to me to share why I chose these blessings, to tell a story, another story, and to tell you why these blessings are meaningful to me. So these blessings are said by Jewish parents all over the world to their children on Friday night. Some people do it every week, all their children's lives, right after lighting the Shabbat candles, the Sabbath candles. And they traditionally contain different words for boys and for girls. They refer to men and women from our history, from the Bible, who serve as models in some way.